I've just started recording, and as I've started, I've just gotten a comment from YouTube, and I get such a kick out of this whenever I have people comment on my top 10 emotional One Piece moments video, which is my most watched YouTube video and still climbing. Like, thank you guys. If you are someone who watched it, thank you so much. But the funny thing is, every time I get a comment, it's pretty much somebody saying, oh my god, I'm crying so much, and that makes me so happy because I cried making that video, and I still cry if I watch it again, so it just, I'm just like, thank you all so much. In another story, I am wearing pink today, which means my face is pretty much gonna be pink for this entire goddamn video. I hate that this happens. I don't know why the filter on my camera does this. If I wear anything pink or red, it immediately like makes everything else that shade. I don't get it. It's a real pain in my ass. I got enough of those. Anyway, enough about that. I am really excited to be talking about today's video. Basically just because of who the director is. He is my favorite director. Oh my god, the man is so good. It's crazy. This film, on the other hand, like, there's so much I loved about it, but then there's so much I didn't love about it. So it has me completely torn up inside. But anyway, so I'm gonna stop talking about random crap, and I'm gonna stop checking my YouTube. And I'm gonna stop checking the comments on my YouTube that I'm getting. They can wait till later. So right now, let's get into the review. Shadow, also known as Ying, is a 2018 Chinese period film directed by Zhang Yimou with a screenplay by Zhang Yimou and Wei Li. In this film, to finally achieve victory over a rival kingdom, a brilliant general devises an intricate plan involving his wife and a look-alike and two kings. I was so incredibly excited to watch this film. Zhang Yimou, as I said, is my favorite director as I've fallen in love with his style of cinema. His films are always full of rich, vibrant colors, and he uses those colors and the camera to tell such beautiful visual stories that they leave me breathless, which is why I'm saddened to say this is so far my least favorite film that he's done. While this film is another on his list that shows his incredible talent for visual storytelling, I found the actual story that comes from the script to be a tad underwhelming and at times difficult to follow. As I began watching this film, I was surprised to find such an absence of color, as this wasn't what I was used to in Yimou's work. But as I watched the film, I found myself once again mesmerized by his use of color. It's safe to say I've seen more than a few films in my life, but I've never seen a film use so many shades of black and white and make those two neutral, some might even say dull, colors and make them feel full of life. Yimou takes the subject and title of the film and incorporates it into every single facet of this film, and you can see it in every single frame. The film follows a character who is a body double called a shadow. The concept of a shadow is that it can only exist in the presence of light, and therefore one cannot exist without the other. Which brings us to the film's theme of yin and yang. Yin and yang is an ancient Chinese philosophical concept that describes how opposing forces actually complement each other and interconnect in the natural world, and how they empower each other. Essentially, the balance of the universe. This philosophy is represented by the Tai Chi symbol, which is a design consisting of two interlocking black and white spirals with a black and white dot superimposed into the opposing color. This symbol and concept are depicted in every aspect of this film. First, Yimou bases the film's color palette around the colors of the Tai Chi symbol, black and white. So costumes, sets, and landscapes are all varying shades of black and white, and of course grey, which is the color formed when black and white are combined, duh. I would never have thought you could have so many shades of these colors, and yet you could clearly see each distinct shade throughout the film. As usual, it was breathtaking to see this, and indeed shows Yimou is a master of his craft, being able to make two such subtle colors appear so bold on the screen. Yin and yang are also found throughout the script. As we see the story's shadow and the original in a discussion, it is mentioned how one cannot exist without the other, because one cannot be a shadow if the person you are a shadow of no longer exists. This deep philosophy is even present in the martial arts choreography. The The fighting style is described as fighting fire with water, as water is fire's natural opposite. They also describe the fire style to be masculine, while the water style is feminine, again demonstrating opposites. They even go so far as to master this fighting style by, instead of using an offensive item to fight another offensive item, they use a defensive one instead. The balance and symmetry are at the core of this film and unmissable. And if you were unsure, then the film has characters fighting on top of a giant Tai Chi symbol, just so we're clear. If I was to keep the subtitles off during this film, I think I would have been in complete awe from start to finish, captivated by not only the things I've described, but how the fighting is filmed as well. As we're watching them, we can see our director has not captured these motions for the sake of seeing two people fight, but to show the beauty and art that is found in each move they make. So that we catch these moments, many of them are shot in slow motion, so we can take in every second, and it is incredible. However, I did have subtitles and I was reading, and little of what I was reading was making sense. I was able to get the overall gist of the story, but it just felt lacking in a real story. It felt as though all the story work was put into the visuals and the script was left to fend for itself. Some of the characters' motivations are unclear or not revealed until the very end, and even then I'm still not entirely sure of the motives. There is not as much context or background on our characters and who they are as people, and as I think about it, I did not see much character development for any of our characters. Our shadow had some, but it was mild and it could have gone further. Considering this film is meant to be based on stories or history from ancient China, I would have expected greater detail in the script itself, but the script comes off as an afterthought and I can't help but feel disappointed. The film begins where it ends, and in most cases when a film opens with a scene and then goes back in time and leads us up to the scene in question, it is usually for a good reason. This scene usually has some significance, but when we get to the end to see the first shot is the final shot of the film, I was once again disappointed, as the ending was extremely anticlimactic in my eyes. I wasn't sure what this ending meant, what it signified, and it didn't appear to achieve anything. It felt as though the story just abruptly ends and I'm left with so many questions and completely aware I'll never get answers. I've come out of this so torn. I'm again so blown away by the visuals and how Yimou was able to make me see the beauty in two commonly disregarded colors, at least when it comes to this type of depiction. Chinese inkwash paintings inspired the film, and you can see it. You can especially see that painting style put into the costumes and the sets, and it's exquisite. So we have excellent camera work and direction, incredible cinematography, beautiful sets and costumes, wonderful fight choreography, but then we have this confusing and underwhelming script that brings down the quality of the film, and that kills me. I'll remember this film for its visuals, but the story is forgettable and disappoints me so much that I don't see myself watching this film again. I'm so sorry, Zhang Yimou, I'm so sorry. Yeah, I can't believe it. I actually like The Great Wall more than I like this film. I know so many people had their issues with that film, but I actually liked it, and it especially has Zhang Yimou's use of a really vibrant color palette, and you can especially see that in how each soldier who has a different purpose on the wall, each one has a different colored costume, which kind of dignifies what their place is, what they do. So the women had the blue cranes, which was beautiful, and yeah, they were obviously a lot braver and tougher than the guys, because they're literally flinging themselves into danger. Of course, women are the only ones who are light enough for the rigs to support their weight, so that was interesting. But obviously it's nowhere near the top of my list. Like I'd say my favorite Zhang Yimou film is, I'm torn between The Curse of the Golden Flower and Hero. They are both just exquisite. Like, Hero is exquisite. They're both just like, oh! And then after them would be House of Flying Daggers. And oh my god, it's just crazy. Like, you watch some directors' work and you we're going, wow, that was a really good film. But when I watch his, I'm sitting there like, oh my god, this is the most stunning thing I've ever seen in my life. And it really just, what he is able to do with his films just really makes you appreciate the artistry that goes into filmmaking, which some people really don't appreciate or don't utilize enough. Some directors just, you know, tell a story and that's it, and, you know, pretty much just let the script do that part. But no, what this man does, he uses every color in the crayon box, and it's just like, whoa, OMG. Like, don't ever watch one of his films if you're on an LSD trip. Oh my god. It would be probably like looking through a kaleidoscope. Not a good idea. Anyway, I still, nevertheless, I'm really glad that I watched this film, even if I didn't 100% love it. There were still certain things that, as I just said, I really did love. Still not likely to watch it again though. Or if I did, I'd probably watch it with the subtitles on. But anyway, if you have seen this film, please comment down below. Tell me know what you thought about it. Or if you have seen any of Zhang Yimou's films, then please comment down below and tell me what your favorite film is that he has done. I would love to hear from you. But that's all I have to say for today. So until next time, bye.